right, hey guys, what's up? My name's Chris Huckes, and this is your best life to find. So let me ask you a question. Can you spot a liar? You know, someone walking up to you and they tell you some lame ass story, or you meet someone at a party and they tell you some lame ass story and you just know they're lying, or maybe even your teenage kids. Your kids come home and they come home late, and you wake up the next day and you have that meeting at the kitchen table about where they've been, why they came in late, and they start telling this story, and even before they get the story finished, you're in the middle of them because you know they're lying to you. It's a pretty good characteristic to have, especially when it comes to people who want something from you. And that's what's interesting about this is, people are reluctant to jump in the car with something new, especially when that something is free. That's why right now this podcast, it's not moving as fast as it could, because people are like, well, why would I want to listen to that guy? Well, he's not asking me for anything. See, if I told you couldn't have this, you can't listen to this podcast. No, it's not for you. This is for somebody else. This is your one shot to listen to this podcast. All of a sudden, you'd feel a sense of absence and urgency to wonder, well, why the hell would that be? What am I missing out on? If I told you this podcast was worth $1 million, you got to pay me $1 million to listen to a podcast. You might not pay me, but you might wonder, well, what the hell makes him think his podcast is worth $1 million? See, that's the interesting part about lying, is I can tell you something that is completely false, but if it has a hint of truth to it, and it gives you a sense of intrigue, a sense of questioning why, or the other thing is a sense of collaboration, a sense of association with who you are and what you believe, it's pretty easy to believe it. But the problem is, in most cases, the people who are lying to you don't know you well enough, or you don't know them well enough to actually be able to do the same thing you do when the people you know are lying to you. When your partner's lying to you about the money they spent or what they did or where they've been, it's not hard for you to figure out whether they're telling the truth or not, because you can see it. Because you know them, you know who they are, you know how they react, you know how they speak. How do you know that anything you're being told is true? I mean, I'm a prime example, and I don't get into politics, but I'm going to tell you this. So a while back, the conversation was about how detrimental immigration was to our country. The sky is falling when it came to immigration. What happened to that? Was it true? Was it false? It just kind of went away, didn't it? Oh, well, COVID-19 is the new worry. Well, that doesn't change the fact that we were previously told that immigration was the big issue. And I'm not picking one side or the other. I'm just saying that when it comes to people outside our personal realm, outside our personal circle, we don't know these people well enough to tell whether they are lying to us. And of course, there's the other issue that we have. So let's say we encounter someone who's really convincing. I mean, I could be construed as that. I can be convincing, especially in person. So you're sitting here listening to me, and I'm talking to you about living your best life. I'm sharing these stories with you and talking about truth and honesty in this case, and who's lying to you. How do you know that I'm not lying to you? Well, you can kind of base it on some basic things. You can check the facts with me, because with me it comes down to it. Do I live in a fifth wheel? Yes, I do. Why do I live in the fifth wheel? Well, because as I've said, my house has wheels. I can go where I want to go, and I can do the things I want to do. But what's even more important than that is that the basis for lies is manipulation. And manipulation is driven by things people want. I want you to do something. I want you to take some action. There would be no point for me to lie to you, because I'm not asking you for anything. At the end of each podcast, I do ask you if you like it, share it. I'd love to hear from you, blah, 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 right? But I'm not selling you a book. Is there a book in the works? Yeah, there's a book in the works. Will I ask you to buy it? No, I will tell you, hey, my book's up for sale. That's up to you. But when you think about the interaction you have with a car dealer, with a realtor, with a banker, with a contractor, with a politician, the one thing they all have in common is that they're all looking for one thing from you. They're looking for your support. They're looking for you to reach in your pocket and spend some of that money you've worked so hard for. They're working to get you to tell your friends about how great they are, and to be sure and cast your vote so they can have 4 more years of the power they've already abused for the previous 4. That's what they're vying for. How do you gauge that? How do you gauge that? And more than that, what impact is it going to have on your life? Well, let's think about it. Someone gave you the idea that owning a house, owning a car, owning a garage full of dusty boxes and all the other stuff you have to do every day is how you become happy. That's the ticket to happiness. Now, if you lie to yourself, the first thing you're going to say is, "Oh, yeah, hell, I'm happy." Okay, let's skip the happiness thing. Does anything in your life right now feel like it does to jump on a snowboard and go down a black slope in the middle of winter and kill it and nail it and think to yourself, "Oh my God"? Does anything in your life right now feel like that? Leave you feeling like that? If that's not the case, then you might be lying to yourself. And you're actually perpetuating the lie of the person who sold you the house. "Oh, this is a great house." How many times have we heard, "Oh, this is perfect for you," and then you get home and you realize it's not? How many times have you signed the papers on a car, get home, and then realize, "Oh, crap, look at this. I didn't see this. Well, we wouldn't have bought it if we seen this." And you call the dealership and say, "Well, yeah, I know it sucks. It's an as-is sale, right?" Huh. Oh, but that's not a lie. They just didn't bother to tell you. Or maybe you just didn't bother to look. "We can afford that house." "Oh, no, we can afford that house." And then you get the payments, the insurance and the principal, the insurance and taxes, and then the payment, and you're looking at it, you're going, "Oh my God, $1,200 a month, $1,400 a month, $2,200 a month." And that's when the reality sets in. "Oh no, the water heater's fine," the realtor said. "Oh no, they just had it checked out." The owner tells the realtor that. I guess that's all they can tell you, right? And there you are, water in the basement. The entire basement's flooded. "Oh, the insurance doesn't cover that." "Oh, they said they did." "Oh, man, I guess they lied." I don't know, where does it end? The question is, when you take a look at your life and living your best life, getting caught up in the lies, whether they're your own or they're the lies from people around you who want something from you, being able to control those and read those and avoid the traps that are set by those, that's a ticket to living your best life. Think of we all have instances in our life where we paid for something or we bought something we thought we needed and we were convinced we had to have. And 2 months after the purchase is done, we realize that, "God, why did I do that?" There's a ton of boats and RVs and motorcycles that have been left to dilapidate and fall apart in the backyards because we lied to ourselves and we said, "Oh yeah, no, we'll go camping every weekend. I really love camping. Yeah, we can do it. I'll work overtime. We'll get that thing paid off. And then maybe if it goes good, we'll start RVing full time. And then where's it at? Dash is all cracked and the tarp's been hanging off of it, torn up for about 2 years now, and it hasn't been started, and there's infested with mice, and all you're thinking is, "God, I got 18 more payments. Ah." I don't know, guys. Sometimes I look at it and it just makes me laugh. I look at some of the crap on the news. I watch the news for entertainment purposes, not because I believe any of it, because how do you tell the truth? Where's the gauge for the truth anyway? I watch the guy that's running this country right now. He will tell consecutive lies in a row. He would tell corresponding lies that cancel out other lies, and the statement that most fake news. Come on. If that was a kid or a friend, you'd call him on it in a minute, but it's someone that you have made connection with and you're rallying behind. You're on their team liar. You're rolling hard on it. It's crazy. I can't believe it. I guess you might be wondering, I'm kind of rambling here a little bit because I've thought about this. This is a tough conversation for me to have, but the truth is, if you can't be honest with yourself about what you're hearing, about what you want in your life, you're never going to live anything more than you live now. You will never have the time to do most of the things you love to do, because you can't have it all, and that's the truth. And you lie to yourself, say, "Well, we're going to have the house, the car, and we're going to have all the fun." No, you're not. Because there's a point, there's a limit to how much money you have, and there's a limit to how much time you have. And you can spend your money buying the fancy stuff and all the great things that you see on TV and be impressed and sit around amongst all those things, and you can pretend that the world is envying you. But you're not really rocking it. You're not doing anything different than anyone else. You're actually doing the same exact thing. And if you're not careful, if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you're going to get caught up in that lie if you haven't already. And then it's really going to get tough to climb out. Can you do it? Yeah, you can do it. Stop lying to yourself. If you don't like mowing the lawn, stop mowing the lawn and take that time for something else. Take that time for something you love. But it requires you to be honest with yourself and everyone else that's impacted by your decision. Mowing a lawn, okay, I can mow a lawn, but I'd much rather go water skiing. Quit lying about it. Quit lying about the fact that oh my God, I don't even mind working my ass off every day because when I get home at 7 o'clock, I get an hour and a half to spend hanging out in my fancy ass house before I go to bed. And then I wake up before the sun comes up, I head back out 5-6 days a week. But I love it. I love it. I love paying that big ass mortgage every year and having mortgage insurance and flood insurance and all the other stuff. I love it. I can't imagine anything more thrilling, more exciting than starting that lawnmower up on Saturday morning. Just boom, starting that lawnmower up and getting on it, right? Oh, yeah. I don't know. There are a lot of people lying in the world. There's a lot of people lying in the world, and I guarantee you somebody's lying to you right now. Question is, can you pick it out? Can you pick it out? Can you avoid it? Can you call them on it? Can you make sure you don't fall into their trap? Because that's what living your life, best life is about. It's about avoiding the pitfalls on your way to the things that are truly about you and the things you love, the things that are inside yourself. How can you imagine? Can you imagine waking up every day able to do what you love to do? There are people who do it. There are people who do it. I'm one of those people. And what's cool for you, I guess what's lucky for you, is that I've decided to share it. I'm not stopping because you're not ready for this message. I'm not stopping because you don't quite get it. I'm just going to keep talking. Because this is working for me. And unlike so many other people in the world, I'm not lying to you. I'm going to tell you right now. Let me say that here's my truth. My truth is that spending more time doing what I love to do than what I have to do is awesome. That is my truth. Not a lie. It's the truth. And I spend as much time as I can in every day doing it. I can go kayaking and hiking and mountain biking, and I can do podcasts. And when I get tired of podcasts, the world is a limit for me. That's not a lie. And neither is how you get there. The way you get there is you define your life not based on the noise around you, but on what's within you. What do you love to do? What inspires you? And then start going for it. Pick one thing, go for it. Get there, pick another thing, do it. Keep going for it. Keep going for it. Keep going for it. And guess what? Before you know it, you're living your best life. So anyway, I could keep going on this one. This one was a tough one for me. I don't know if you could tell, but I kind of struggled with this because I want to give you value. I don't want to waste your time. Your time is important. And I don't deserve to sit here and listen to me talk about it. Nothing. But it's important for you to understand that sometimes you have to acquire skills you don't have, and being able to detect truth from fiction, not only in the world around you, but within yourself and your ideas about your life. And to stand up for what you believe in is the only way you will ever be able to access the life you dream of living. And that's the truth, and it can be done, and it starts with one action. Pick one destination and then take action on it until it happens. And that's the ticket. I don't care how you slice it. Is it easy? Probably not always. Not always. But if you pick the right thing, it's worth it. So, anyway, until next time, just remember, today's your day. Make it a good one.